What can I tell you about Africa? I could tell you about the safaris and the Big Five. A list of the 5 most dangerous animals in Africa, including the leopard, rhino, African buffalo, elephant, and the lion. I could tell you about the amazing food, like an ostrich fillet. Or maybe I could tell you about Cape Town, the massive port city that attracts upwards of 24 million people to its waterfront for shopping and eating annually alone. I could tell you about all these things. And I will. As well as the underbelly. The local towns of Langa, a suburban community outside of Cape Town, and the community of Victoria Falls. The most important thing to realize about Africa, first and foremost, is that each day ends with the orange sun, similar to how each day begins. If I took a hard look back at how I spent most of my days in Africa, it was mainly spent in a car driving around, especially in Cape Town. There is so much to see on the shore, as well as there is inland, like the lighthouse at Cape Point, or the ever so longing African plains. It seemed as though no matter where in Africa I was, like in Cape Town, I always found myself connecting to nature, like Seal Island and the coastal mountain range. Everywhere you look, there is some form of wildlife that I'd never seen before. And even though it was shocking enough, the most shocking thing was how helpful and friendly everyone was that I met. Even the sharks were nice enough not to eat me for lunch during a cage dive that I took. Traveling opens you up to so many things, and by visiting other countries and meeting people, it makes you realize that for the most part, everyone is doing the best that they can with what they have, and that very instance I saw for myself in Langa. The town of Langa, meaning the sun, is a township located on the outskirts of Cape Town, founded in 1927 as a way for the government to have transparent control on local residents. But the reputation of this town took a drastic change on March 30th, 1960, when the townspeople hit a breaking point of apartheid and marched onward towards the Central Square police station, resulting in a 15,000 count massacre of the Langa people. Today the township stands stable and proud, not people with much in hand, but rather people rich in spirit and pride. While Africa is home to some of the most beautiful creatures, it also houses the only waterfall considered to be one of the 7 wonders of the world, called Victoria Falls. Located in Zimbabwe and shared with Zambia, standing at 108 meters or 355 feet tall, Victoria Falls is an eye-opening experience to see. The falls were discovered by the Scottish explorer named David Livingstone and named the falls after his queen back home. However, locally the falls were named differently in their native language by the people around, but translated to the smoke that thunders. While seemingly cryptic, that name connects the mist created by the falls to the sounds of the water crashing. Sometimes in life you gotta live over the edge and do something that scares the hell out of you. This wasn't one of those times, but I did get to touch and feed some elephants. Also, if you ever go to Victoria Falls, stay in Elephant Camp. Here's my best attempt at a Cribs intro. But seriously, sometimes you gotta live on the edge, and I did during a canopy tour over a gorge that Victoria Falls fed out into. Similarly to Langa, Victoria Falls is a town with not much physically, but everyone we met was friendly. Slowly a developing group of people, making more buildings and schools, Victoria Falls has the kind of grit that only comes so rarely in this world. So the wildlife, the big five, the beasts, the sky highs, and the little guys. Here's the wildlife of Africa. I've seen it 100 times in other photos, on TV, and in movies. But seeing these animals in person and first hand serves an experience like really no other. 5 feet separating me and the king of the wild gives almost a rush of adrenaline, as if you're part of the wild too. You know, there's never enough that could be said about Africa, and all of which it beholds. The motherland, the roots. Africa, you're special. It doesn't need to be said twice. Thank you for watching.